This is Megan Schuldt, and I'm doing my Language and Literacy Rich Classroom Design project. I'm going to start with my internship classroom. This is just an overview of it. She had a basic classroom with centers, including reading, writing, and art, and also more. This was her reading center. She provided plenty of books, and she changed them weekly based on the theme that they were going over that week. One thing that I would want her to improve on is just adding more culture. She really stuck to one culture when talking about each theme, and I think it's very important to include perspectives from different cultures. That way students are not just seeing it from one side, they get a whole perspective of different cultures. But other than that, students loved coming to the center and loved the books that she provided. This is her writing center. She provided paper and pencils and dry erase markers and boards, and she had a table for them to write on, but she didn't just confine it to this area. She wanted them to practice their letters and names, but she also would allow them to scribble and use it in free play just to practice their writing skills. This is their art area. This promoted drawing and writing. Drawing, they were able to do whatever they wanted. They were able to freely create their projects, and they practiced their writing because they were required to put their name on each piece of art that they created. So that's a great way to promote that. And finally, their center time. They would go over the letters of the week. They would talk about the names of the letters and also the sounds. And they created small books, so they practiced book handling skills, and they also read the books together. She also had a stereo where she would play music, so the kids would sing and dance to those musics. And I think it's a great way to implement language and literacy in a different way, and it's more fun for the students. She was really great at including language and literacy in every center. She didn't just confine it to one area, and I think that's very important in a preschool classroom. I made my own dream classroom. This is an overview of it. Again, it's just like your basic classroom, but I really wanted to focus on the centers. I wanted to make sure each center had every material possible in order to really focus on language and literacy and also other subjects that we see in school. This is my reading center. I wanted to provide as many books as I could with as many cultures as I could. I wanted to get cultures for every student of my classroom. That way students are able to learn more about their culture, but also the cultures of their classmates. I also wanted to provide a bunch of different seating options so that they're comfortable coming to the center and more likely to read. This was my writing and technology center. I really want to provide as many writing utensils as I can, and that way they're able to use whatever they want to practice their writing skills. They have the table in case they do want to sit down and really practice their letters and they're writing their names, but they're also able to bring those utensils elsewhere and use them in different ways. They could also freely scribble so that they're just practicing their fine motor skills and their writing skills. This would be my center time where I would have large group. I would do things like my internship, like Letters of the Weeks, but I would really want this area to be an open discussion. I want my children to really focus on their language skills and their conversation skills, and this is the area where I would provide topics and just have open discussion. We could talk about different cultures, but we can also just talk about subjects such as math and science. This way they're really using their communication skills. This would be my music center. I would provide stereos with music, but also musical instruments. I think music is a great alternative to learning language and literacy. Instead of just sitting down at a table and writing or reading, they're really using music to use and learn those skills. And I think this would be a great area to do that in. And finally, I would have an indoor garden. I think it would be a great conversation starter. Students could work together and really communicate about how they need to work this garden in order to keep it alive, and they would just have great conversations about the garden in the classroom. So this would be my school. I think it would be a great classroom that promotes language and literacy in every area of the classroom. I don't want to keep it confined to one area. I want language and literacy to be part of every center so that students are really grasping that concept. So that's my classroom.